Every week, a new band. Brought to you by NZ On Air. Active Live! Yeah.
You are tuned into radioactive.fm. No mai haere mai, and welcome to the Active Live. My name is Mia, and you're in for an absolute treat today as I am joined by Welcomer, who are a wonderful five-piece band based here in Te Whanganui-a-Tara. Kia ora team, how are we doing?
Kia ora Mia, pretty well.
Lovely to have you guys in the studio today, and they're coming in to celebrate the release of their debut EP, Welcomer, which came out last Friday. Should we do an introduction of everyone in the room?
Yeah, sure. Eddie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Eddie. I play bass.
Shannon.
Hi, I'm Shannon. I play guitar.
Zach doesn't have a microphone, but he plays the keys, the laptop, and brings vibes. Ox also brings vibes and plays drums. Yeah.
Lots of vibes to be brought. So shall we kick the session off with a track?
Cool. All right. In the summer, but they got heavier after we were thinning out. You were basically skeletal. You went to like 4 festivals in a town without festivals. Whatever, it's flexible. The definition is flexible. You can always come home. You don't have to ask. You don't have to ask. You can always come home. Fine on the brunch. You don't have to ask. Sitting on the floor, back against the kitchen door. It's not clear if it's just a visit. You say you're fine, doing better, but like you're reading it out of a letter. Cutting out your magazine clippings. Cutting out your magazine clippings. You can always come home. Don't have to ask. You don't have to ask. You can always come home. Fine on the brunch. You don't have to ask. You can always come home. You can try out on the dick. You try out on the dick. You can always come home. Don't have to ask. You don't have to ask. You can always come home. Fine on the brunch. You don't have to ask. You can always come home. You can try out on the day. Try out on the day.
Absolutely beautiful tune. Thank you guys so much. If you just tuned in, we have Welcomer in the Active Live studio today. And such a treat to hear that one as well, because that is an unreleased track, I believe.
That's right, yeah.
And what was the name of that one?
That one's called Magazine Clippings at the moment. Yeah, we'll see if that makes it onto the next release.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
So you guys have been around for about a year now, if that's correct?
I think just a bit over now. Yeah, but yeah, about that.
Yeah. How did Welcome come to be in the form that it is today? What's you guys' origin story?
The origin story isn't terribly exciting. I had some songs, and a friend of mine asked me to play a house party, and I was already jamming with Ox and Eddie in the form of City Boys, upcoming release maybe 2023 possibly.
Yeah.
But they didn't really fit the vibe of these songs, those sessions. So we added some extra members and played the show, and it kind of spiraled from there.
Nice. And where did you get the name from?
That's a really good question. Again, not a very interesting origin story. I just wanted something that was palatable and didn't, I don't know, that I wasn't going to be embarrassed by in a few years, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Welcoming energy, if you like, maybe. That's basically it.
Oh, nice. And you've just released the debut EP, which is called Welcomer. And how long has this one been in the works?
Wow, it depends on, I guess, like what your idea in the works is. So the wedding DJ, the last song, has been floating around in different forms for almost a decade, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I wrote that when I first moved to Wellington, but it kind of hovered in and out of things I was doing, and I guess we picked it up with Welcomer, and I added a second verse, and we did some extra things to it, and it finally is kind of out in the world. I don't mean to say that I've been working on it for 10 years every day, but and then I suppose the other ones are younger, if you like.
Yeah.
So maybe like a year of kind of recording and things.
Yeah, and how was the process of recording this EP? Because I saw on your Bandcamp that it was recorded in quite a few different places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty fraught, man. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I think next time I would probably do it differently. A lot of it tracking at home, so just me tracking in my bedroom, and just so Ox and Eddie and I live together, which is very handy.
Nice.
So we can kind of manage that, and then, I don't know, like we recorded some vocals at Shannon's house, and then Zach, my brother, we're from Kawerau, and so, visiting home or whatever, maybe do some recording there. But I guess that can spiral into a long time, working on recordings, which I hope to not repeat in the future. We're going to do it super fast next time.
Yeah.
Same day drop.
Yeah.
Same day drop.
24 hours to a whole EP.
Yeah.
That's the big challenge.
4 albums next month, guys.
Yeah.
Christmas Day.
There you go. They set it on record. Now you
Yeah,
have to do it. You're going to have people holding you accountable.
100%. We've got City Boys coming up. We got 4 Welcomer releases. Anything I'm missing there? I think that's about it. It's for January. Yeah.
Epic. Wow. Huge January coming up. Yeah. And what does the process of writing look like for you folks? Is it because you write most of the songs, Miles, and then do you bring them to the group as a whole, or are they quite collaborative?
I think that it's probably more collaborative than probably it seems. So I don't tell anyone what to play, for example.
Yeah.
And the sort of songwriter I am is, I care mostly about like the structure and the lyrics. And then I come and, so for example, like Ox's beat in that last song was Ox's idea, and like Eddie's bass lines are Eddie's bass lines, and so on. If that makes sense. Yeah. But I suppose my process is focused on the lyrics. So it usually kind of starts off writing, and then I will bring in some sort of chordal structure or something and take it from there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Well, can we have another track from you guys?
Yeah, sure. This one goes out to our friend Daniel, whose birthday it was recently.
Happy birthday, Daniel.
sleeping in your sister's lounge, that someone could give you a grand piano doesn't surprise me now. Doesn't surprise me how across from the retired nuns on the lawn back of your house, hands worn, chests loud, ready to burst, your shadow spills out. Hard thudding with the orchard floor, eyes flicker with the streetlights stutter. We all moved out of that house, Eddie put it on your record cover. Red grief, can you hear me over the mess? Oh, my friend, oh, my friend.
Beautiful stuff. That was
Thank you.
Daniel's song for Daniel.
Yeah. Working
And
title. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I wanted to ask a bit more about your lyric writing, because one thing that I really noticed and really enjoy about your music is how vulnerable and thoughtful the lyrics are. Like, they can kind of almost be, in my opinion, like, kind of stand on their own just as stories. Where does your inspiration come from for this
Thanks,
kind of
Mia.
writing?
That's really nice.
Just fangirling a bit.
No, I appreciate that. Great question. I wish I could tell you. You know, that's such a classic, like, corny thing to say. And I was like, look, man, I wish I could tell you. Like, you know, like at the end of the day,
Like I could, but it's a secret.
it's a
Yeah, you would never know.
I mean, I guess there's a few ways to answer that. I think one thing I believe in is just working at songwriting like it's a ritual, like using discipline and doing it all the time, and then what comes from that, I guess, is up in the air, if you like. So I kind of focus more, I guess, on committing to, I guess, practicing that often, and then the stories kind of will come, and sometimes they don't come, and it's kind of fine. And then I guess the other angle that I would answer that question with is just, it's like a process of just observation. I think it's like a lot of writing is stealing, you know. And I think it's really clear with these sort of songs too, which are quite literal and often quite specific. There are things that have, you know, happened, like, you know, in that last song, I'm talking about the retired nuns. You know, there really are retired nuns on that street, and you know, I wish that I could say it was a detail I came up with. But yeah, that's kind of how I go about it.
Yeah. Do you have a favourite song or lyric that you've written?
Oh gosh. Well, to be honest, like in the song Steely Dan covers band,
Yeah.
I didn't think that it was going to be like a one people liked, but the line on that is, it's a Steely Dan covers band. It's not Steely Dan, it's a Steely Dan covers band. That one seems to be a one that people like. So that's yeah, maybe that.
Yeah.
I can see your colleague laughing. Shouts out to Steely DNA of Wellington.
And Steely DNA are a real band.
Yeah, they are a real band,
Epic.
and as far as I can tell, they're really
They're good, right? They're good.
They're meant to be really good. So I don't know, you know, if anyone knows a member of Steely DNA and you're listening to this, give them our shouts out. Our
You
love
rock.
from Malcolm. You guys rock. Yeah.
No, that's so cool. And how do you find that intersects with the production of your music? Because I notice you use lots of like electronic sounds and really beautiful synth layers and stuff, and recordings as well. There was some in that song before. Like, how do you collate those and find those?
Yeah, I mean, again, thank you so much, Mia. It's really nice. So Zach here is often in control of the synth textures and things, and you know, he doesn't have a microphone, so I'm crediting him. I don't know if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to tell that Zach has a light spotlighting on him at this very moment.
It's a red light, just for the radio listeners.
Yeah. So for example, the like textures in Wedding DJ between the verses are all Zach, and I take a lot of inspiration from the things he does with electronics. He has his own project, Zachary Backdrop, too, which uses a lot of synths. And so he's really good at that. So I suppose to answer your question in regards to electronics and synths, there you go. In terms of the found sounds, it's just something that I really like. I think it kind of matches the intentions of the songs, which are, I guess, collages of memories and things, and that kind of interests me, the unreliable narratives that we build up around ourselves. And it, for me, it kind of is consistent to just take snapshots on your phone and so on. It's also just kind of fun, you know, like there are like rain sounds on the summit, for example, or there's like a church bell in Steely Dan from Oamaru when Zach and I were there. It was nighttime, and so just things like that, which I think add to the texture and probably aren't noticed all the time, but make me feel connected to the song.
Yeah. No, it's super beautiful, and it's cool that you've got it in your live setup as well. You guys have been playing quite a few shows this year around Welly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head how many we've played, but it feels like we've done a
50, 60, nah.
50, 60 a day. Depends. On a good day. On a good day. Yeah, we've been playing a bit. We could always play more. It's tricky. We've all got jobs, and Shannon's in like 12 bands, and you know, yeah. So if you're listening to this and you'd like to book us, go for it. Go for it. Welcome at protonmail.com. There you go.
Book a gig.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite one you've played this year?
Do you guys have a favourite one we played this year? I'm trying to think.
Welsh
Oh,
Dragon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Getting Welsh Dragon. So that was our most recent. So that was our
Oh, yeah.
EP release show.
I preferred Pyramid Club
Oh
Yeah, that was fun.
from my perspective.
So Pyramid
Was
Club
fun.
was the one we did. We put out Steely Dan. Shouts out to Pyramid Club. Shouts out to the Welsh Dragon.
Yeah, shouts out.
Yeah.
Both epic venues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're listening and you came, thanks for coming to the show.
Amazing. Shall we have another track?
Yeah. Yeah, cool. This one is called The Summit. Hazy evening, your mother pulls up at the summit outside the house. Your grandfather grew up and in the warmth of Negroni and flushed sky. The things that he left you, it's dizzying how casually we can die. Let's stay here for a minute, looking out at the stray, lingering weightless over this boardwalk of a driveway. In this quiet end of the street, weighted blanket of pollen, the rents rise around you like teeth. Tell me how much of this is gonna matter this time next year. I used to want to sleep through these years, and now I fret at the flow of but
Let us never go there. But never. Let us never go there. Hazy morning, weatherboards and radio steady, stare at the ceiling, mold like stars, blessing the fabric. In this quiet, quiet state, imagining day that somebody else points out the place.
Incredible stuff. So beautiful. If you've just joined us, you're tuned into the Active Live session, and we have Welcomer live in studio, and that was the track The Summit, which is the first track off the EP they have just released. Yeah. How does it feel to have the EP out in the world? It's been out for a week now.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels like a relief in some ways. I'm really looking forward to cracking on with writing some new stuff, which will be nice. I feel like in some ways, having done this now, I'm like allowed to.
Yeah.
So it feels like, yeah, cool, can do a bit of that. It also just feels like a nice way to wrap up the year, because I don't know, like, also these are like, my best buds, and it's an excuse to just kind of get together and like achieve something, if you like, do something constructive. Yeah, so it feels good. It feels good, and now we can go away and relax.
Yeah. Have Christmas, have the holidays.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you released the EP through Papaiti Records,
Yeah,
which is
that's
a
right.
record label based in Te Whanganui-a-Tara or Palmerston North, who have an amazing range of artists. How did you start working with them?
Great question. So James Stutley, who is, I guess, the CEO, although he would hate me to say that.
Like
the
a total CEO.
Total
That guy
CEO.
cracks the whip like nobody's business. Oh my god.
James, if you're listening, we'd like to leave Papaiti. No, James, this is how we do it. No. Yeah, he actually pulled us in here and said we have to do this live to ear. So
Yeah. He's actually outside right now.
Yeah, he's outside.
They
right
can't
now.
leave, they're locked in there.
Yeah. How did we get involved? So I've known James for years, playing music and so on. I guess I first got involved with James when I was playing with Lontalius years ago, and that was when Lontalius was on Papaiti, and we just became friends. We got lots of friends in common. I was a fan of his band Carbon Carb, which is great, and yeah, now we're just friends. And
This is a Carbon Carb shirt that I'm wearing.
yeah, so Shannon's wearing a Carbon Carb shirt, for example. It's James on
Epic.
the shirt. Yeah, Shannon's also got a couple bands on Papaiti Records. I love that you said that they're based in Palmerston North, though, which is really funny. I think that's like, I mean, where would you say that Papaiti is based?
I mean, they live in Whanganui, but
Yeah.
Palmerston
Oh my
North
gosh,
is
okay.
the emo capital of New Zealand, as according to Under the Radar, and they're right. So,
You may have gathered that Shannon's from Palmerston North.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Nice, important fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, beautiful. So we'll start wrapping things up now. Got a few minutes left. But going on break for the summer, or playing 50 shows a day. I'm not sure which one. You will just have to see. Does you guys have anything in store for the next few months? With personal projects and stuff as well, because I know you're all very busy.
Yeah, cool. Okay, what do we got going on?
It's plug time.
Plug time. I love plug time. Well, we're playing Newtown Fest. Should be cool. So that's on 31st of... Oh, you heard it here first. 31st. I was like, it's not, maybe it isn't the 31st. I can't remember. Anyway, we heard it first. Newtown Fest, lineup drop.
Oh shit.
What else have we got? Oh, yeah, so Song of the Summer with Raiden Freeman and Skyning is out now, which you can stream. What else? Zachary Backdrop, next single is coming out soon, but it's called Black Wax.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
I think Shannon sings on that, actually.
Oh yeah, I do.
Uh,
That's why it's a good one. No, I'm kidding.
anything else, guys? Having a good time? No?
I've
Yeah.
clocked off. I'm not doing any more music for the rest of the year.
I've been joking that we're in our
Right.
shutdown period.
We are.
Because, anyway.
Office hours are closed.
Yeah.
But nah. That is super exciting. So anyway, thank you. Oh, I have one final question,
Yeah.
and it's what we were discussing before, but you've had time to think about it now.
Oh, no.
What is the perfect animal to represent Welcomer?
Whoa. Okay, so ox.
This is in context. Ox does our zoo segment every second week, so it has lots and lots of animal facts.
Yeah.
The perfect animal for welcomer is a flock of silly geese.
Epic.
A whole flock. There you go.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in today. We've got time for one last song,
Cool.
which is
It's
called
Scam,
Scam.
this one. Thanks so much, Mia. Really appreciate it. And thanks to everybody for helping out. It's a pleasure to be here at Radioactive. We'll see you next time. Right. Bought a ticket, pretty sure it's a scam, but you gotta head down to the venue anyway. Besides, you just took that gram off the counter and you won. Raised to waist, spun up another with some chamomile flower and some powder taken straight from the bag. Been a while since you've worked, but it's fine. You mostly make rent all the same. Making earrings out of little metal pendants featuring the Christian saints. Sure, things can get a bit hectic, and a few of those people probably could be asked to leave the house. But you mean it when you say it, and you show up, and you show up, and you show up, and you show up, and really, what else can? You could feel it in your body, but you couldn't see it coming. It's never stopped you believing before you say you're doing fine, but everybody lies. It's just this time no one believed in yours. Feel it in your body, but you couldn't see it coming. That's never stopped you believing before you say you're doing fine, but everybody lies. It's just this time no one believes in yours. Took a minute before they asked you to leave, and when it all came at once. Anything unsaid was read out and asked about until it was all too much. You found a cupboard with the building's wires to sleep in for whatever a month. No one saw you on your feet that quick. They want you to keep paying rent. Against the back of your teardrops, forget that, forget them. Laying out the cards at the foot of your bed. You joke that your sex life is finished. You say you can't bring anyone here. Well, it's all in how you spend. You could feel it in your body, but you couldn't see it coming. It's never stopped you believing before you say you're doing fine when everybody lies. It's just this time no one believes in yours. Feel it in your body, but you couldn't see it coming. That's never stopped you believing before you say you're doing fine, but everybody lies. It's just this time no one believes in yours.
You've been tuned into the Active Live with Welcomer in the studio. Big thanks and love to NZ On Air for making these sessions happen. And the Friday Drive coming up next.
Active Live. Friday, 3:30. Every week a new band. In the studio. Brought to you by NZ On Air.